Well, I'm always trying to do something different, but let me see those nails, first of all. Look at those nails. Hot dog. That's so amazing.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Hi, how are you? Very nice to meet you. How's things?
It's great to meet you. It's been a day, but I'm here, so I'm gonna say it's going good because I'm still here.
Ah, I hope so, man. You're still standing.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
You
man. You know it.
I have to say, I had so much fun watching you in this film, and it just seems like you had so much fun playing Milo. And I wanted to ask you, as an actor, is there something that's a little bit more freeing to use your craft to play a villain in a movie?
Yeah, I suppose the last few parts I've played have ended up being villainous in some way. And I think it is, isn't it? Because you get to sort of push people to the darkest of edges, which I rather like. Um, and I think if you can make them sort of at times, not I'm saying I'm doing it in this, but if you take someone like Anthony Hopkins in Hannibal Lecter, make them funny and warm and intriguing and discombobulating, and you sort of want to be their friend as well as seeing they're a villain, then it's there's something interesting in that line.
Look, I was like, Milo, I don't agree with you, but I see that you're having fun, so I'm just gonna
Exactly,
give you
man.
some
What would
more.
you do? What would you do? You'd
But
fly around, wouldn't you? You'd fly around and be
yeah,
a vampire for a bit. Hell yeah.
but that's one of the things I love, this like kind of contrast between Michael and Milo, and really how Milo has really accepted and has really thrived off of what makes him different. Whereas Michael struggles to really deal with this new change. And I wanted to know for you, like, how have you personally dealt with kind of those flaws or those things that make us different? How have you learned to really celebrate that?
In me, you mean? In
Yes,
me,
and
my
you
life.
were even
Oh,
given
wow.
advice on what we can do better to accept our flaws.
Yeah, oh God, that's a brilliant question. I mean, look, I think I mean, this is me personally. I think it's a lifelong quest, isn't it? Really, it's something that you work on every day and you reflect on as constantly, but with the desire, I think, to move forward happily, improve, and treat yourself with self-care and self-respect. It's hard though. I get it wrong all the time. How about you? How have you learned to do it?
I am very big on self-care right now. Like I feel like we do so much to give to others, to like give to what we're trying to do, our goals, but I'm very
Mm,
big on self-care. So like I schedule myself a massage every Saturday. That is
yeah,
like my
oh,
hour to just take care of me.
yeah, bit of you time where you can breathe and think about yourself.
Yes,
That's important. It's important, man. Yeah.
it
Well,
really is.
maybe I'll start doing that.
You have to. You got to do it. You're
Yeah.
going to love it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But when people, look at the premise of Morbius, they think, oh, it's a vampire movie, it's another vampire movie. But it feels so different than that when you're actually watching the film. And I wanted to know for you, like, how did you make sure approaching Milo to make
Hmm.
it different than any type of film that we've seen, to make it feel different from a typical vampire genre film?
That's a very interesting question. I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the director and the tone he set rather, Daniel Espinosa, and he allowed us to be quite creative with the script and with the type of acting that you get in a big sort of superhero movie. Whether that works or not, I don't know. I mean, I hope it does. But there was something in that, I think, and I think, like with anything, I don't know, you're trying to make your villains as likable and human and relatable as possible. I think. Does that make sense? I think so.
It did. I mean, but that's what makes you. I feel like with your character, you kind of understand what Milo went through in the beginning to why he's the way that he is now. So
Yeah,
you feel
yeah,
conflicted, but I feel like you should feel conflicted with villains because then it makes you uneasy. Like, should I root for them or like,
yeah,
are they really bad? So
yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate
And do you
that.
want them to die, or are you sad when they die, or you know what I mean? I think hopefully, well, that's cool.
Yeah. See, look,
See?
Milo's okay in my book. He's still a villain, but he okay in my book.
Listen, he's great on a night out, and no, he is. He's all right, Milo.
Milo's
Just
be fun to
you
party
just got
with.
it
I can
wrong.
feel it.
Yeah,
Milo's gonna
what?
be a fun part. He's fun to party with. I can feel it.
Oh yeah, definitely, no doubt. He's
Well,
been
look,
waiting all his life to go to a party. That's the truth.
just trying to be the light. See, Milo is understood. We're just trying to be the light for the party.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's never really got to go. And he's always been on the edge and he's always been on the outskirts. He's always been ostracized, really, from society, at least in his head.
Look, Matt, I had had a lot of fun talking with you today.
I
This
like
was a
that.
lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I just want to say I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to speak with me. And I'm sending so much love and light your way. I really hope you have a great rest of your
Right
day.
back at you, dude. It's a real pleasure to meet you. Good luck. I'll see you again. I feel it.
Thank you. And you're going to do some self-care once a week, okay?
Listen, I've got you in my head on Saturday. I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, how are you doing today?
You know, I got to say, I'm doing better seeing that background. What a great idea to put that in the background. We should have asked everybody to do that. It's a fun way to celebrate the movie.
Yes, I love to stay in a theme.
Man, you look great and you're matching too. You and I.
See, it worked. It was meant to be to speak to you today.
That's right.
One of the first questions that I wanted to ask you is one of the themes that I really love is really that dynamic between Michael and Milo and how, you know, this change that Michael goes through, he really begins to become repulsed, you know, by this added flaw, and Milo embraces it. And I wanted to know for you, like, we all struggle with embracing our flaws. Like, how have you worked to embrace your flaws? Or even is there any advice you would like to give others on how to better embrace what makes us different?
Well, I think the Buddhists have a lesson, and I believe it's the first lesson, is that life is suffering, right? And it's the acceptance that life is suffering. And then once you have that, you can move on, and you can evolve and understand that, like, failure is a great part of life. Of course, it's painful, but it's the thing that teaches us the most. It's a great fuel to fire when we're on our road to successes and making dreams happen. So yeah, I've always thought that, you know, things like pressure and fear and failure are also beautiful things, you know. So it's good to remember that.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
But also too, I love the roles that you take, and you know, they always feel so different from the previous one. And I wanted to know from Morbius, what was it about this character that really inspired you to take this role? And is there any personal challenges that you set in place to take on the mantle of Michael Morbius?
Well, I appreciate that, and yeah, I've been really lucky to be asked to solve some pretty challenging problems. And I love that. I love that kind of opportunity. And what was special about Morbius is not only was it the very first time this character's been on screen, which was great because I got to interpret this character for the very first time, and also there was a transformation built into the character, so you get to see this character in 3 different ways.
How does that challenge you as an actor? Because I mean, you do have to portray him at 3 different points, you know, in his life within the story. Like, it's 3 totally different characters.
Yeah, and that made it exciting and rich and interesting to me. And you know, I love that battle between the two, between good and evil, and between these 3 versions of the character. It kept things really interesting.
Has it made you, I mean, when you look at the what Michael and what Milo went through as far as how the world treated them because of their conditions, you know, has it changed like your outlook on the world and how, you know, the negativity that we can sometimes put out can really change a person at their core?
Yeah, I mean, it's very well put, and it can. And I think that, you know, what I responded to about Dr. Michael Morbius is he's always on the search for this cure. He's dedicated his life to this really altruistic purpose to find a cure to help other people and himself survive, live, have a life. And you know, there's a lot to explore there.
And for my last question, I mean, you know, this is a comic book film, you know, some might even say it's a vampire genre, but it feels so different than what we've seen with previous films. I wanted to know, how did that change how you approach your character to really not make Morbius seem like another character that we've seen in this type of genre of film?
Well, I'm always trying to do something different, but let me see those nails first of all. Look at those nails. Hot dog. That's so amazing. Let me hold them closer to the camera. I want to see what's on them. Wow, look at that. Incredible. Incroyable. That's beautiful. Wow. You could be in the sequel.
Look, let them know. I'm ready.
Come on. Those are great. Love the nails. Thanks for the time today.
Thank you so much. I really just thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. And I'm sending so much love and light your way. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I'll take it. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, how are both of you doing today?
Hello.
I love your background. You're the first person that has a Morbius background. I love it.
I gotta stay in the theme.
I love it.
One of the first questions that I wanted to ask the both of you is, one of the things that I really enjoy is the dynamic between, Michael and Milo, of one not really accepting this new flaw that they have, whereas the other character fully embraces it. And what I wanted to know for the both of you is, how have you learned throughout your careers or even personally to learn to celebrate and accept the flaws that make you who you are?
For me, it took quite a while. I come from a humble area in Sweden. I'm an immigrant, a refugee, and it took me until I started making features when I was 25. It was not until I was 31 that I realized that those stories were my strength, and knowing that past and what I've been through made me a strong director, and that changed my career. Really. ¿Y tú?
Oh, wow, I mean,
Compadre.
that's
No, pero compadrita, tú tenías harto.
yeah, I mean, I'm full of flaws, and I think I'm still working on them, and I'm still accepting them like we all are. I don't think I will be the version of myself and I'm like, I accept all my flaws. I hope I do. I'm not there yet. I'm certainly not there yet. But I think sometimes having your flaws a little bit more exposed than others, it's a little bit more in your face that I don't really have much of an option then to really accept them or work really hard on them. So I'm trying. That's where I am. I'm still 29 and I'm still learning.
But also too, watching the film, like, it speaks a lot about how the impact and the power of how we treat others and how that can lead people down some very dangerous and dark trajectories. Has that changed your outlook of the positivity that you want to put out into the world, of making sure that the impact that you have on each individual you meet means something?
Absolutely. I think you owe to every individual that you have an encounter with to be present, to look at them in the eye and to have a connection, even if it's for 1 or 2 seconds. I think you owe every single person that inhabits the same home as you do that respect and kindness. I think it reflects, I'm a firm believer that sort of everything around you in the universe always responds in a yes. So if you put out negativity, you'll get negativity right back. If you really throw out positivity, that's what you'll get back. So I think just work from kindness. I wouldn't know how to do it other way.
No, but like, we have like a responsibility, for the people around us, and we affect them, and they affect the people around them. So in the end, all our actions affect the world, Yeah. So we are all, superhuman beings that can affect the world in an instant. We just have to accept that responsibility, that when we walk the earth, that we have to be proud and we have to be representative to who we are and where we come from.
It almost gave me that image of the dominoes.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's
I like
Saturday.
that.
Yeah.
I was like, let me go find somebody and be nice today. I'm not saying I'm just saying, let me go intentionally find somebody. But one of the things that I do appreciate about this film is this comic book film. Some people are going to say like vampires, but it feels so different in a good way, in a more refreshing way. And I want to know, from a directing standpoint, from an acting standpoint, how did you approach this to make sure that it didn't feel like just another genre of a comic book or vampire film?
I'll go first because mine's super simple. I think we had him to really guide us and navigate us into the corner that we ended up being, which was, it is a Marvel superhero movie, and you have the actions, which, by the way, he's amazing at action sequences. You have the action sequences, you have the hints of comedy, you really have the edginess and that darkness. But every day on set, the core and the aim was always for it to be truthful, and he wouldn't accept anything but that.
You're such a lovely compliment. You know,
I know.
I become silent.
Really
but,
showering him today.
yeah, it's too much. You know, like, and I'm not worthy of it. But I wanted to make a movie about an outsider. No, you know, and the Morbius is that he's always been an outsider of the Marvel universe. So I wanted to make something that was not just Michael Morbius, but all his characters. I want them to be different. I want them to come from different places. I wanted to New York to feel different. So we just took this idea that we would create our own universe within the universe, you know.
Well, look, I just want to thank the both of you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I really appreciate you. And I'm sending so much love and light both your ways. And I hope you have the most amazing rest of your day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're so
Thank you.
special.
Thank
You're so
you.
sweet. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you so much.